Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Great Day Houston. October, as you know, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've come a long way over the past several years, dealing with everything from early detection to actual treatment. Where we stumbled along the way, however, is giving access to that life-saving treatment to those who are underinsured or have no insurance. And that's kind of the premise to how the Smith Clinic was born. Let's go inside and talk to one of the people responsible for making the Smith Clinic a reality. Lester, you have survived cancer more than once, recently had a double lung transplant, so you certainly understand if you did not have access to great health care and weren't able to pay for that, you probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
That's a pretty good statement. I ended up being in the hospital in intensive care for 3.5 months and then another 6 months of semi-intensive care at home. And if it wouldn't have been for my dear wife and the love of my life, Sue, I wouldn't be here. She took care of me along. I had 3 nurses, RN or transplant nurse, and 2 nurses assistant. And Sue has finally said, enough already. These people have waited on you enough. But anyway, I
glad
did
that
pull.
you were with us.
Yes, I am delighted.
Comes to breast cancer in particular, that's also touched your life in a personal way.
Well, my former wife, Barbara Smith, she got remarried. Her name is Barbara Hazard, and she is passed about 5 years ago, and she had breast cancer. And Sue's sister, Pat, died from breast cancer 18 years ago. So we felt that because of the exposure that we have as a family, that we need to be proactive, and we need to do everything that we can do to eradicate. I don't know where we're going to eradicate it, but 1 in 6 women get breast cancer.
We've seen some great improvements, but
Yes.
one of the things that you looked at was the fact that a lot of women didn't have access to those improvements. You know, you saw situations where there were long wait times, outdated equipment. You know, not that the doctors weren't trying, they were doing the best they could, and that's why Smith Clinic was something that was so important for you to help establish.
What I heard about was exploding breast, and I heard about exploding breast at Bentop, about women came in a year, 2 years too late, and their breasts were falling apart from cancer. And I said, this is not, we have to do something about this. We have to, it is our duty, Sue's and my duty, to take care of other people. It's just, I learned it from my parents. I learned it from my father.
In fact, you two have a motto.
In my obituary, which I've written for future date, my motto in that, it said, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. And I said, well, I think I went a little bit too far this time.
And you also say, too much who has been given.
Too much who is given, much is expected. And so it's a crazy thing is that, and it's not planned this way, is we give, our foundation gives grants and pledges and money away, and I give it away, and then it goes out the front door, and then all of a sudden, a week or 2 weeks or a month later, it comes back in the back door, but it comes in at a bigger number than went out the front door. So I don't do it because to be successful. It's just God's working with me.
And you're working with God. There's
Yes,
all
I am.
kinds of things that you've done outside the Smith Clinic in terms of trying to help with the cause of breast cancer research and treatment and early detection. You made your money in wildcatting, oil.
Yes.
You have an oil well that's a little bit different color on the Texas landscape, isn't it? It's pink.
Yes, it was called the Pink Well Challenge, and I took one of my oil wells out in West Texas, and I painted the pump jack, the one thing goes up and down like that. I painted it pink, and I gave a $1 million grant to small organizations that were trying to raise money. And that pink well plus $1 million grant, we raised over the United States $9 million.
Wow. You also wrote the book, You Gotta Dance Like No One's Watching. Of course, you and Sue are championship ballroom dancers. You wrote that book, and proceeds also went to go help the cause.
Yes, every penny that we made from that book went to breast cancer research.
Yeah. When it comes to Smith Clinic, you have to be so proud right now because you've had so many women come through these doors who, in some cases, might not have known where they would have gone.
I just learned a number this morning for this entire clinic that it's a cancer clinic, and it's not only for breast cancer, but for other forms of cancer. Since we established this 5 years ago, we have had 1.2 million patient encounters.
Wow.
And that just blows me away.
Yeah.
I don't even know 1.2 million people.
Yeah. 5 years. That is a magical number for anyone who has dealt with cancer.
Yes.
And when you first opened this clinic, you brought along with you a patient who was the first one to come through here. You remember Christina?
Yes, yes.
Well, Christina is here today.
And she's alive and well.
And she's alive and well. Come on over here, Christina.
She's my star.
Yes, yes. Christina, do you remember what you said to me when we first met 5 years ago?
Remember we were at the studio of Channel 11 and I said, Deborah, I'll be back after 5 years. And I'm still here.
Yes.
Strong and alive and of course beautiful because of Mr. Lester.
Oh,
He is
that's
my
so sweet.
inspiration.
Well, thank you. You know, when somebody says, when you hear the diagnosis and somebody says to you, you have cancer, it's like they have a bullhorn and they're screaming in your ear. And then there's a sign this big, the letters are this big, and it says cancer. And you think about it all of the time. When you wake up in the morning, you think about it. Yes. When you wake up in the middle of the night, you think about it. You think about it 24/7, and you say, why me? And the why me is, I don't know. But if there's a why me, we have something that we can do here at the Smith Clinic that can help you successfully battle, and we battle alongside of you.
Lester, I want to say on behalf of our entire community, thank you and Sue for what you all do. Thank you so much. And you're right, people think about it, but you've given people the opportunity to think about it, then eventually let it go. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to hear about Christina's journey and your wish to give hope to other people who have just gotten the diagnosis, you have cancer. Yes. Thank you. We love you.
Thank you.